Okay, recently I made a video again about, when like somebody who makes videos, let's say makes videos, it could be in person, and they're the type that are going to act as though that they are voices of authority on so many topics, and they have no credentials. It's just that they believe that they are, the ones who know, and they're going to tell everybody how you do this and how you do that. But they really don't have what it takes. It's just that they have that arrogance. Some would say, well, if you read about narcissistic personality disorder, some of the, read about it, it'll say something in there that you might go, oh, that's what it is. It's a narcissist. Well, you can't diagnose, if you're not that person's whatever it is or wherever they live, the legal counselor, therapist, a psychiatrist, whatever it is, like I said, wherever they live, that can, why are you doing it? Are you just as bad? You don't have the, the authority. You don't have the credentials. You don't have the license or whatever. You see how that works? Yeah. And they're going to call you a narcissist then? With narcissistic personality disorder? Yeah, so we shouldn't be doing that. And in our minds, we put it in our minds, but you go around telling people, that could be dangerous. Very dangerous. I never would tell anybody to. But anyway, move from that. I mentioned this about in a video. I don't know if I deleted it or not. Well, I don't think I put it up yet. But the people that they do this, they talk about anything. Now, me, I'm a social and behavioral scientist, so what I talk about is things under that. I was a career student over 20 years. Okay, I paid my dues. Big time. Okay, and then I go on from there. But the people who, they want to tell people, they don't have the credentials. Like I said, they haven't done any work to do it. It's just that they're so arrogant. I know people who are families, and I know more than one family, where they think somebody in their family is going to have the correct answer to everything and be a voice of authority on, whatever it is the other one doesn't know. So the family system, they think that somebody in it, they're just so smart. They're the smartest family in the whole world, I know more than one family like that. I really do. And it's like, seriously? Just sit there and shake my head, man. Well, flat out tell them you're wrong. Oh, man. I would not suggest that to people either. But I don't listen to bull crap. I don't listen to people with it like that. But have you ever noticed that some of them, some people would call them vulnerable narcissists, or, along this line, that they cannot handle constructive criticism. They don't think that they need any constructive criticism. They think they're right, and they do not allow people to tell them they're wrong. They'll throw temper tantrum, big old temper tantrum. Grown adults say, when I say grown adults, I'm usually thinking of people who are middle-aged and older, but all adults, even young adults, is young, middle, and, actually, when I was a student, there was, it was kind of strange how they did it after a certain age. I thought that was really odd. So these days I don't know what it is, so I don't want to even say it, but it was too odd back then, how they divide up the different ages. Anyway, yeah, but this is how it, it comes about. I have been noticing this again lately, especially in the people who are the online, their sob story, digital panhandlers, some would call them. They do the sob story. Oh, I don't have enough money for groceries. This is so typical. Or their car broke down or something like this, And then you see them, because they have this side of them, they want to brag. They're putting themselves up way high on this totem pole they place themselves on, and then they're begging, e-begging. So, but in their minds, how are they trying to deal with that? I mean, you're e-begging, yet you're saying you know everything. One of them, I'm telling you, I'm not very tolerant of this kind of behavior when they're using people, especially elderly Christian people. Seems to be their favorite, one of their favorites. Okay, to use. And it's abuse. In my book, it will always be abuse. To try to get money off of them and say things like, try to tell them that God has told them that they should not work, and hint at that their audience, elderly people, on Social Security or whatever, disability, whatever, people that aren't, they're just on disability. They're trying to get the money off of them. That kind of bad. And I know that they could be personality disorder. They could be, disordered all around. The people making the videos that do that, that's not how I say it. I mean, I know that they can be, but I'm a Texan woman. No. I mean, they're doing harm to grandmas and grandpas, people like that, my age group and older, taking advantage of them. I feel too much empathy for those that they're using and master manipulating, But they're also let's get back to this part. They're also the ones that throw major, major temper tantrums. If any of those people, those audience, any of them give them constructive criticism, boy, they explode on camera. And say, they just do. I've mentioned this, several times. But how about this? Whenever they do something, they act like they're voices of authority, and all these people, that it's their audience, and they can be popular. They could be, they're listening, and they tell them how to do something. Then they find out they're wrong, that they are actually wrong, and they have to admit that they're wrong. So they might say something, but they'll still find a way that they've done something, whatever it is that they've done wrong and they've said wrong, and they were telling people how to do it. You do this, and this is the way to do that, and this and the other, and it turns bad on them. Boy, does it turn bad on them. And now they don't really have to say it, but it's also another way that they use to grift, to get people to feel sorry for them. But immediately after they say something like that, they will find ways, and their videos will be constantly, on a regular basis. Each one of them that they put out for a while will be about how everybody else is wrong. And another point, that's one. The other one is they're going to still act like a voices of authority on other topics. The rest of the next videos, it's going to be how they are experts. To them, there's no such thing as an expert, but experts on this topic and that topic, and they voices of authority. They know everything, and they don't have any credentials for it, none. It could be even something in the same, I don't even know what you call it, same field, same genre, same whatever, as the one that they did wrong. I mean, just let me think of some kind of thing. Say it's cooking or something, and they were wrong about something, of how you cook something, and it made them sick. You don't leave this out, and they did, and that kind of thing. Anything, and then the next thing they do, and they're saying something that's very similar on a different kind of meal, and people are saying, no, don't do that. People with experience, or people who are chefs, they've done the work. No, you don't tell them. You don't tell this kind. Oh, they will come and they will say the whole audience. They won't just point out one or two. Everybody in the audience. Oh, they're so mean to their audience. They don't say the person who did it. No, they might show the comment, which from what I understand, that's copyrighted to the person who wrote it. But they smash it up there as fast as they can on their video and show everybody that person's whatever it is on whatever social media, whatever that points who it is, and you can click on it or go look it up and find the person, and they get harassed. Okay, I've known people to have who have been harassed because of their comments. Okay, just constructive criticism, being nice, saying, hey, you got egg on your face, that kind of thing. Oh, don't you dare tell them they're wrong about something. You know, I don't like it when I do voices like that. Oh, Adam doesn't either, by the way. Just don't do that. I said, well, imagine how I feel. I'm all creeped out by hearing it. You know, some of the people that I run across, oh my goodness. Anyway, it'll make you shake your head. You know, okay, you just got proven wrong, and you're admitting that you're wrong, but then you quickly say other people are wrong, and you keep doing that in each video, but then you still talk as though you're, you know, speak as if you're a voice of authority on various topics when you're wrong. It's gonna get found out too. You're wrong. You don't have the credentials. You didn't do anything. I mean, how many of you have ever worked a job in service? You know, I don't know, these days they call it something else, but and so you've been doing this job for however long, and some new person just got hired, or I mean they've never done that kind of job before, or a manager has never done it before, or a customer, or anybody. They tell you how you're supposed to do that job, and you've been doing it for you've earned it. Your right to say it the way you say it. You have the credentials. They don't, but they're going to tell you that they do, and you're doing it wrong. How many other people have experienced that? You don't have to, I'm not saying you have to go to university and there's your credentials. I'm saying anything, whatever it is, for whatever thing that you're interested in. You know, that's or you're not interested in, but you do. You actually do, and actually have the credentials to say what you do with the voice of authority. And then somebody gets online, makes a video like they know everything about everything. Don't you have an attitude like, oh my goodness, I'm embarrassed for them? You know, some people, that's how kind of more like I feel. In a way, I'd say what takes over more is not really, sometimes it is the embarrassment for them, but it's the gall, the nerve, and then they're using people. I feel a lot of empathy for the people they're using that are actually don't realize they're being master manipulated. They think they're doing a good thing. They really think they're doing a good thing, and they find out they're not doing a good thing. You know, how crushing that can be for some people. And we never know. Maybe. Okay, but anyway, this is something I am seeing so much again. Actually, you know, I've said this before. I started making videos. It'll be 12 years in August on my original channel. But right after that, I started seeing these sob story grifters. Okay, now, like right after I started, you know, people saying, oh, one of them even was something about her grandmother, you know, whatever it was, or somebody, oh, needed this, and then you see them, like I said, go out and, you know, they don't have money for groceries and all this stuff. That's what they grift off of, sob story. And then you go and see them go to a restaurant and buy a $100 meal for themselves and maybe their child or two. You know, that's $100. Well, these days, $100 isn't all that much, is it? Oh, I'm sorry, it's not. And, but man, if you're frugal type, you raised like I was, we had it tough for a while. We're comfortable now, but we had to work both smart and hard to get to where we're comfortable now. But man, my goodness, prices, everything, crazy. And, anyway, you see these people who are doing this, and the thing about it is, you know, you see them going and buying stuff, and some of the people who are watching and who are giving that money, they're not quite catching on that they can't go and do that. If they're giving these people sometimes literally their last dollar for the month. That's all they have. And they're not quite getting. And then you might see, eventually you might accidentally see a comment before it's already deleted by the person making the videos, the YouTuber making the videos, or whatever social media platform. It's not always just YouTube, you know. But you see that comment and the person says, you know, I'm not able to go and spend money like that. And I sent you money. You're thinking you really needed it. And for your kids, some of them use their kids. They don't care. They have no shame. You know, they have none. And use their kids. And then you find out, some of them, you find out that their kids are grown and have jobs. Okay? And still live at home. And they know what they're doing is taking them on vacations. You know? Oh, I mean, I'm laughing because the audacity is just, oh, the nerve of some of these people. But yeah, some people then when they catch on, you can hear it practically, you can feel it in their writing with what they say. You know, how hurt they are. Because they were helping somebody they thought really needed it. And it turns out this is just someone who's using people. You know, and then goes around and they listen to some of these people because they think that these people are influencers. They have so many, you know, they'll say, well, they have a lot of people watching and they get a lot of comments and a lot of views on each video. When you look at the comments, though, you say, wait, they have that many views and just a handful of comments? Or sometimes they do have some and they're oh, poor baby and all that. The next thing you know, there's hardly any comments. Well, the other ones after that, when they do something like they showed that they went to, or they go to the grocery store and show what they buy, and the stuff is expensive. They don't have money for groceries, and they keep doing that year after year after year, video after video, talking about how they don't have money, and they go and buy expensive groceries. And just when I said that, my stomach growled, I'm hungry. Mine is that I need to go in and cook it. Cook something. It's 8:19 p.m. Yeah, I think I need to cook something and eat. But, I mean, I had a hamburger patty, and Adam got some shrimp. He loves shrimp, and he left me 5 of them, and I put the shrimp in the oven with the hamburger patty. So, I had that today. And what else? Yeah, I need to eat. I'm a night owl, so my time is different, and don't take my advice on how to eat. I have a rare health condition. I have to eat a certain way per doctor. Not your doctor, my doctors, plural. Anyway, my healthcare providers, plural. So that's not something you do. No. I'm not a voice of authority on it. That could hurt you big time. But anyway, didn't that just annoy you? Yeah, it just made me think of something else that's on my mind too. But no, I mean, I'm seeing this more and more often. I've seen the grifters more. Usually, you know, all these almost 12 years, you'd see them before there was a 'tis the season kind of thing. Okay, they do it here and they do it here. You know, especially around the holidays, you know, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving here in the United States. They especially starting with Halloween. Okay, through all the way through the end of, you know, once people got their Christmas card money, they wanted those cards. They do those sob stories like you wouldn't believe. And then sometimes I think it was in the summer. Whenever it was like 'tis the season. Now it's non-stop. These grifters are non-stop. You know, it's pathetic. Like I said, then you see them go out and spend their money on expensive groceries. Wow, can you imagine how that would be for somebody who really could get past their, it's kind of like they have a little bit of a crush. And it doesn't have to mean, you know, like, they want to date them kind of crush, but no, they have a little crush on that person. Oh, that person's so smart, and they're trying to make sure you think they are. They're that voice of authority. But then you realize you're watching and you go, wait a minute, they have no money for groceries? And they start to put two and two together, go beyond the crush, infatuation and the belief that, there are these influences, they must know what they're talking about. They're voices of authority on so much. Once they get past that, the feeling just hits me. And I'm saddened by it. It's like watching something being heartbroken. Because I know these people, a lot of people in their audience are, they're going to start feeling this. When they see that video and that person is bragging. Because they have a strong need to brag. Remember that whole contradiction there. That they think of themselves as so high and mighty and so, such a big they themselves, the person making the video, that they have a voice of authority and all way high up on that pedestal, and they're having to beg to make the money. Think of that contradiction. That's okay. The people are paying it. That's how they see it. Oh, well, that's their problem. They're the ones sending it to me. It's not my problem. It's theirs. They need to practice self-control. They will not accept any account. There's no accountability. They won't accept blame. They won't accept that they're wrong. They won't accept that they're using people, lying to people, using their kids. Whether the kids are kids, their children, or grown adults. They're using them. And once a person starts to see that and really feel it and shame comes on them, they might feel shame themselves. I wouldn't, but I never have ever sent anybody any money online. I had my first computer in 1982. No. Period. You guys saw the story? Well, I learned. I never send money to anybody. But, boom. Because I have experience there is a weird looking spider on my windshield. That's the second bug that's come on my windshield. The trees you see right there, I guess they're growing, and the weird looking stuff you see, it's a teeny tiny baby spider about the size of a end of a pencil, the eraser on a regular pencil, and it's clear. It's like you see right through it. Now it's flying off. Since when do spiders fly? Well, they jump, but do they fly? It's a bitty tiny thing, or did the wind pick it up? I know, funny way to end this, and I'm going to wrap it up. Talk to you on another video. Bye.